Welcome, everyone, to the Inspirational Businesswoman Show. Today, I'll be featuring special guest Therese Skelly, and we're going to be discussing energy and mindset mastery for business sales success. Hi, everyone. I'm Virginia Parsons, the host of the Inspirational Businesswoman Show, and it really is my passion to provide you, the viewer, with a gold mine of inspirational tips, strategies, and advice to help you grow your business from inspirational businesswomen in the know. And so I'm very excited to have this conversation today with Therese. Now, before we get started, I would like to share the preview trailer with you. And that gives you an opportunity to really see what we're going to be discussing and also go ahead and help spread the word. If you find that this information is valuable to you, you might also know that it would be valuable to other people. So go ahead and let them know about the show, and we'll be getting started in just a moment. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I know that your time is valuable, and it really is my desire to provide you with some valuable tips and strategies that you can apply right now in your business. And Therese is going to give you some very valuable tips. But first, I want to let you know that today's show is sponsored by hangout-marketing.com, where you can receive a complimentary live stream assessment. Would you like to know how to use live stream more effectively in your business to attract more clients and build your reputation as the go-to expert? Well, this assessment will only take you a couple of moments, and all you need to do to take advantage of it is text pound success to 775-800-4179, or if you're out of the country, just go to hangout-marketing.com. Now, let me introduce you to our special guest, Therese Skelly. Therese is a mentor for women in business. So all of you viewers out there, she is someone who can help you with your business all around energy and mindset mastery. That is the topic of today's show. And this is to help you with your own business sales success. These are intimately intertwined. And so what we're going to be discussing is why your brain is not your friend, and also how to manage your mind and your energy. Finally, she's going to share with us about tapping into sales success mindset. So Therese, unmute yourself, come on in and say hi to our audience.
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, we love having you here, Therese, because I think that this topic is so important for our viewers. I think so many people don't realize that sales success starts with your mindset and the energy that you carry around that mindset. So I'm really pleased to bring this topic to our viewers today. But let's start with you. How did you become the mentor to women entrepreneurs around this whole idea of mindset and energy? Perhaps you have a defining moment or two you'd like to share with us today.
I really do. That's a great question. And I have to say, it was not planned out by my logical brain, right? So what you should know is that I started out my career as a psychotherapist. So I practiced for about 25 years. So I really have this fabulous background of understanding emotions and human behavior and where people get stuck. And when my kids were small in 2001, I went to life coaching school. But Virginia, that's not much different than therapy. It's a little different, but it's not like I was a plumber. You know what I mean? So it's pretty easy jump. And I had gone to a networking group, and back then in 2002, 3, 4, I went and I said, I'm a coach. And they said, what, golf or tennis? And so back then there was not the glut of coaches. They didn't even know what the heck I was talking about, but it got me on a newsletter. And from the newsletter, there was an ad one day that said business coaches wanted. Now, here's what we have to understand. I have an undergraduate degree in criminal justice, and probably very few of your guests can say that they were a prison guard, but I was a prison guard. Yes, I was. And so I was criminal justice undergraduate. I worked in chemical dependency treatment and, psychiatric hospitals. There's no business in here, right? Are you hearing that? No business at all. I never read a business book, never took a business class, didn't know anything about business. So the turning point was that I listened to the crazy guidance in my set. Like think of how crazy that is. I've never even worked in business, and I'm finding my hands applying to be a business coach. That's pretty ballsy, right? That's just like, woo. And that changed the whole trajectory of my life. Now, obviously, I got training, right? I was working with a fabulous mentor at the time, and I learned from some of the best. But what happened is I still couldn't sell my services. And so that's why I'm super passionate about this topic, because even though we had training from like the top sales trainers. I mean, and Virginia, I had probably like a 12-page script. Now, if it was just about following directions, we would need one universal script, right?
Right.
And so what I discovered along the way, because when you are a service-based business owner, it's a lot harder to sell yourself. That's when your stuff comes up, right? And so what was happening is I would be really good at, I knew marketing and strategy and copywriting and all this stuff. I was a good little business coach. But what would happen is with my clients, I'd put these fabulous strategies together, and 3 weeks later, they're like, oh, I don't know. And it's not because the strategy wasn't good. What I discovered is they kept collapsing, what I call, like the doubts would come and their limitations or that kind of stuff. And so I really went from just pretty hardcore pure marketing to go, no, it is your inner game. Like if you don't master your psychology and your mindset, you could have the greatest mentors in the world, but you can't get the results that you really desire. So I've just seen it happen over and over and over. And so I'm committed even more so to like, no, this is the work and this is the stuff you got to fix in yourself.
So important.
Yeah.
Such valuable information. First of all, I think it's important to reflect on the fact that we often do not start out in life and end up doing the same thing. That's what's
funny,
wonderful
right?
about life, isn't it? That we can explore so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the wonder of being a woman today, especially because we have all these opportunities we once didn't have. And
Right.
so for you to, have been a prison guard and
Oh my gosh.
studied forensic science and end up in business coaching and, saying just like so many coaches, I had no idea what I was doing at first. Well, that's
Right.
okay. We
Right.
learn by experience.
Right.
But then you've really connected, I think, the dots here by saying that strategy in its own or having a manual on how to do it without having the inner
Mm-hmm.
awareness and discipline or whatever we're going to be talking about today, mindset to enact the strategies, nothing will make you a success, will it? Doesn't matter how many courses you study.
Yeah, no, that's the sad part. Somebody came to me a few years ago, and this is unfortunately very common, right? I wish I could say it never happens, but it happens all the time. So this woman spent $30,000 and she got like a top copywriter. She had her website redone. She had new professional photos. She hired a mentor. $30,000. And she came to me and she said, I haven't made a dime off that. And then she came to me and she's like, oh crap, it's because I forgot to work on my mindset. right? Because she had visibility issues, even though she had everything on the outside built, like beautiful copy, like this fabulous site, everything that, you would think, good, just step in, do the work. What she didn't count on is understanding, like, oh my gosh, there's a part of me that's playing small. There's a part of me that can't really step into this new version of me. And Virginia, I see this all the time. And so it's not to bash strategy. It's not to say, oh, you don't need strategy. Of course you need strategy. But for most of us, there are unconscious places in us that aren't going to let it happen. And that's why, I'm kind of a ninja in that area. Like, you need somebody, or you need to at least decide, like, wow, maybe I'll look there instead of trying to get more Twitter followers or get a new banner, or, you know what I mean? It's not just the externals that you have to work on. You really have to understand, am I the roadblock here? Am I messing this up? And it usually is a yes, particularly with sales. Oh my gosh,
Therese,
particularly with sales.
I just really think this is so, so, so important. That's why I was so excited to talk to you about this, because, so many people are starting off in business thinking, or they're doing a second business because, maybe they've retired from the brick and mortar type of business
Right.
and the job, and now they're really interested in pursuing something that is more geared to online marketing.
Right.
And you're right. All these tools and techniques in the world by themselves are not going to be effective unless you address this, especially when it's somebody who's new in the arena that they're going into.
Yeah.
So let's give them some great tips. I mean, we'll leave strategies alone. Let's give them some great tips. But let's talk first about why your brain is not your friend.
Crazy,
because
right? That's crazy.
our brain should be our best friend, but I know
think.
it sabotages us all the time, doesn't it?
So here's what happens. I shared the story of when I got the intuitive hit, because that's what very often happens. We're guided to do something, or we have a desire, or it's like, or a goal. So we're like, yes, yes, yes. And then the little brain is like, what? Thankfully, I didn't listen to that. And I'm just crazy enough to apply to be a business coach with no training, with no, I should have not done that, but it was perfect, right? But usually what happens is, we, let's say we're working with our coach, or we have a desire. And so we set a goal. I want to have a $10,000 month, or I want to write that book, or I want to lose weight, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be business. It happens all the time. And so we set that out, and then you start hearing the little voices, right? And the little voices are like, you really, you, okay, or it's been done before. Tony Robbins already says that, or oh my gosh, who are you? Or like, wait, we start hearing the little voices. And so here, if you just understand this has changed my teaching. Like, when I teach this to my clients, they're like, ah. So what happens is, if you go back to the cave days. In the cave days, there were things jumping out at you, right? You literally were under attack all the time.
Yeah.
And so your brain got wired to constantly be on the lookout for what could go wrong. Constantly, like, vigilant about, okay, there could be something bad over there. That could be bad. Oh, that's not going to work. Like, and you're very survival dependent on that. Well, today, nothing's going to, my dog might bark, but short of that, there's nothing that's going to jump out at me today. But my brain, it's as if it's biological imperative to still alert me to what could potentially go wrong.
Well, sure, it's programmed into your DNA.
Exactly.
It's the survival mechanism that's
it's
programmed
survival.
into
And so,
us. Yeah.
But what happens is, so let's say Virginia, I'm working with you, and we could just develop a great strategy, and you're gonna, not that you need it because you're already rocking it, but let's just say we do, and you go sit down, then all of a sudden you start hearing, like, well, God, like, and it's inevitable. I call them gremlins, but the little voices that start telling you, it's hard, who are you, it's not going to work, it's already been done, whatever your particular flavor of little voice is. If you understand, oh, that's just my brain. Oh, it's like, for example, and this is going to move into a strategy as well. So you might hear my dog bark. I pray she doesn't, but she might. So if you're a dog person and somebody comes to the door, or in my case, walks down the street, your dog is going to do what? It's going to start barking, right? Because it's wired to alert. That's what dogs do. They're like, hey, somebody's out there. It starts barking, right? Now, as an owner, I don't run under the bed. I don't run out the back door going, ah. I just go, shh, down. I got this. Because I understand, oh, she's just a dog. She's doing her dog thing. Shh. and then I take charge of it. And so when you hear those little voices that are telling you it's going to be hard, oh my gosh, it's not going to work, da 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 da, the first thing you do, when I teach this, people love it. So I would actually have you conjure up in your mind your very favorite dog. So for me, it would be a pit bull. That's my favorite. So you can have a pit bull, you can have a little golden or a fuzzy chihuahua, and you just hear like that little voice, turn it into a dog and just go, oh, you're so cute. Go lay down.
I love this. I
Yeah.
love this. So it's just a dog thing.
It's a dog thing. Oh, shh. So if
Yeah.
you're hearing like it's not going to work,
Yeah.
they're going to find out you're a fraud, you're going to lose money. You're like, shh, oh, you're so cute. You're so go lay down. So in that moment,
Yeah.
you have managed, because what happens for, I use the word collapse, right? And that's what I discovered. What I know with my clients and the people I work with, it's not that you're stupid or lazy or like you wake up and go, oh my gosh, it's Friday. I think I'll sabotage. That'll be fun to do today. Nobody does that. But what happens is you set yourself up and then the little voices happen. Or feelings happen, like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of this. I've never said this, or I've never played this big. And all this stuff happens. And instead of having strategies to how to manage your energy and emotions, whoosh, people collapse. So that's my work, is to how to help people because most people know, like, we all know what we're supposed to do, right? Like, duh, marketing's not hard. You know what you're supposed to do. What gets in the way? And it's this pattern of like, oh my gosh, getting stopped, start, going up and down. And so that's really the work.
So how do you make your brain your friend then?
Well, the first is you have, well, I don't know that you do, actually. Let me tell you that. I don't know that you do.
You can't make friends with your brain?
So when my dog barks, I don't like her in that moment, but I understand she's doing her job.
That's what I'm getting to. I think when you say shh and you do this, you are acknowledging that part of yourself that is attempting in some way to provide something for you or protect you from something.
Yes.
And so in acknowledging it, I think you can still make it your friend without it misinfluencing you, misguiding you, or misrepresenting you.
Perfect. So what it takes is, how do I say this? You must be an observer of what's going on with you, right? So like if you get hit by fear, then a lot of people go, oh no, I feel fear. That's probably not the right thing to do then. Well, no, that's actually the opposite. If it's scary for you, you're probably up leveling, or you're probably stepping into a bigger version, which is like, so you're never not going to feel the fear. That's the thing. We can't just like hit a delete button and like, the goal is to distance from it and say, oh gosh, that's part of the process, because I'm on new ground now. I've never been here. I've never spoken this way before. I've never charged these rates. Holy crap, I've never said this. So of course, again, your brain's going to be like, so if you can distance from it and just go, okay, that's that thing trying to protect me. All right. And because most people listen to it, Virginia, and then make it truth and then get stopped.
Yeah. Well, listen, I just want to pause here for a moment and acknowledge you, the viewer. And I think you're probably resonating with a lot of this, aren't you? We would love to hear from you in the comment area. What are your questions? What are your own experiences with that little imp in your brain? Is it a chihuahua? Is it a pit bull? Just give us a little feedback here. But I just think you got a pack your bag moment right there. And if you didn't even see the rest of this interview, you would have something very valuable to take home with you. So thank you, Therese, for that. Let's move on into how to manage your mind and energy. I mean, you sort of started moving us there, didn't you?
Yeah. So well, let me just tell you this. And on one hand, this is not good news. So let me be Debbie Downer today for everybody. So if I were to have a picture of an iceberg, what you would notice is that like 95% of it would be below the surface, right? And just the tip would be is what you could see on the surface. And so that's the way they demonstrate your unconscious versus your conscious mind. And so what the theory is, and actually research backs this up, think about this, 95% of what motivates you, what drives you, how you act is unconscious. 5% is conscious. So what happens is 5%, that means, okay, I have a goal. Let's say I go to an event and I've got new goals. I'm all excited. I'm gonna, yeah, 5%, yeah. And then I come home and weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
Like I get sick or my computer dies and so I will tell you, Virginia, and this is one of my best, when I say to people, this is a symptom that you're in an unconscious block. I call it stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, right? I love for it. Oh crap. Well, hold on. Well, I need to do some more research. Hold on. I can't do it yet. Well, hold on. Well, I don't know if that's the right title. Let me do, you know what I mean? Or let me change like when you're in this stop, start thing, ding, ding, that is my greatest, like people go, holy crap, that is so me, right? So that's how you know you're in the grips of it. Okay. So if you understand that the unconscious is always trying to influence you. And let's say we're going to take this. You're a woman and you want to make a 6-figure business happen and you have kids. 5% is like, yes. But what if unconsciously there is a belief in there that, well, gosh, if I leave my kids, then they're going to turn out bad. Or no woman in my family has ever made 6 figures. And, then I could maybe be greedy. Now, this isn't conscious. You don't wake up by going, again, I think I'll screw this thing up. You wake up by going, I don't know. I don't know if I could write that copy. I'm not going to send that email today. No, you see what I mean?
That's the doubter, isn't it?
Yeah. But the problem is, like, some of us hear the doubt. So when I talked about that little barking dog thing, but oftentimes the people come to me, they don't even know that it lives in there.
Yeah.
So I want to just give you a picture of what you're dealing with. Like there's so much unconscious stuff. And let me get even crazier. A lot of it isn't even our own.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of women, we're around the same age. We were raised with June Cleaver.
Yes, we were.
Yay. And so we were never given permission as women over 40 to be super successful and powerful and take our place. And so there are a lot of women over 40 that are still looking for permission and not fully stepping in. And so literally you could just ask yourself, like, am I carrying any of that energy? Because what I know when I say energy, your body has all the wisdom it needs. Like seriously, you don't have to like go to healing school. You literally can just go ask your body, your intuition, like, is there a part of me that has bought into the, women over 40 don't get to have their own blah, 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 right? Yeah. I think Oprah has just changed the course of the world for women. Thank you, Oprah. Because the younger women are entitled. Like they know their place. They get to have all they want. Right. But if you're over 40 or 50, the battle's been a harder one, right? So there's all these things that influence that you might not even be aware of.
Yeah, and I think I'm wondering if it's more start, stop, 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 start than it is even stop, start. Because when you talk about 95% of the influence of our mind and our thoughts and our behavior as a result of those is really under the surface, then I would think there'd be a lot more stops and starts, and that does not make it doesn't make for a smooth running engine, does it?
Well, and that's the work, right? Yeah. Like most of us, there was a book years ago called The Road Less Traveled. Most of us want the easy path. We want the 7-step formula. We want, give me the fast path to cash. There is none. I mean, maybe for some there is. I don't mean to, break that bubble for you, but for most of us, the work is once we get our business set up, it's like, wow, who do I have to be? Like you literally must do the mindset work.
Yeah.
And then that way, so it's not so much stop. It's like, okay, I'm up leveling. Crap, a little stop. Yeah.
That's too far, too fast.
Or you can do it, but it'll be harder, right? Yeah. It might be harder. It's like a lot more efforting if you don't understand the unconscious and the energy around it.
So your whole approach is so dramatically different than the majority of coaches out there. Because I do think that they spend a lot of time in strategy, marketing strategy. And this is certainly one of the areas that I specialize in around marketing with visibility. But you're just saying, if you don't take care of this foundational issue, it's going to be a lot of stop starting, and you might get too tired and frustrated to really step into the woman and the business success that you can have. Is that right?
So I have a method, and because I used to do all the strategy, like I know the world, right? So what I now do is I call it align, clear, and embody, because a lot of us are doing work that isn't really aligned with what we'd rather be. I was taught you create your program and then you sell it and sell it and sell it and sell it, and it's all scaled and it's leveraged, but for me, if you transform, like 6 months later, I'm like, I'm bored. I want to do something else. So for me, the work I want to do with my clients is really have you should be only doing what you're in love with. You should do work that is like aligned to your soul and your gifts and your mission, right? And so sometimes people don't know that, or they're not there, or they're selling what they think would sell and they hate it. Raise your hand if you've done that. Like, well, I don't really love it, but like that's really crappy energy. That is not good for anybody. So it's aligned as the first one to get them there. And then the second one is, now I have to clear you. And I use pendulums. I use all kinds of my energy tools where I clear the block. So let's just say, okay, I want to do this work. Okay, is there something that's interfering? And I can toot my own horn. I'm kind of a ninja. Like I can go in and go, what happened when you were age 7? There's a block there. Oh, there you go. You decided that you could never make money. Cleared, right? Seriously, it's fascinating. And so then once I get you kind of cleared, then we go into what I call the embodiment. So who do you have to be to get that work out in the world? So it's not just the doing. Like coaches typically focus on the doing and the action, but it's the being that generates the change, right? Because that's the hard work. Like so who do I have to be a $500,000 earner? I don't know. I've never done it. You know what I mean? So that's the work, is how to, and so it's not just a one-time thing. It's just like building a new you, basically, while moving you forward in your business.
Well, I love that, because we're constantly evolving anyway. And so we might as well evolve with a little bit more purpose.
Exactly.
And determined pathway than to evolve by the fits and starts of getting bumped on this detour and that detour, and because things don't ever go in a straight line. But we'd like at least the line to not be sideways back and forth, but at least forward. Forward and up.
Right, exactly. Perfect.
So this align, clear, and embody process that you take your clients through is really how you help them learn to manage their mind and their energy.
Absolutely. There's bunches of other tools and techniques. Sure. I'm just kind of giving you the overview.
Right.
I mostly want your listeners to understand, because, really, there's a lot of shame. I mean, I've had so many people come to me. They have worked with mentors. They've paid a boatload of money and they didn't get it. And some mentors are actually kind of toxic, and they say, well, you didn't want it. You didn't work hard enough. Mm-hmm. And especially my sensitives, the women that are kind of sensitive or more heart-centered. And so sometimes you didn't get it because it was just it was the structure, right? Yeah. It's not that you're bad or wrong or stupid or lazy. Don't let anybody ever tell you that. I feel like an archaeologist. I do have to say, the work with you is so like sometimes I'm going back just to somebody's, like, when they were in the mom's womb and the mom almost died. And so the imprinting is your trouble.
Yeah.
And so those sorts of things that you don't know, like, people don't generally ask themselves that, but I can find it. So I want to tell you, very often it's not the places you're looking for the end. You know what I mean? We all want outside things. More is better. Just get do. And lots of times it's like working with the parts. I work a whole lot. There's a part of me that wants to make a bunch of money. There's a part that's not. There's a part of me that wants to do video and get really famous, but the other part's scared. Yeah. So you just try to find those parts, and then, because a lot of this work you can do yourself, but you have to go, I might need to focus there, right?
Yeah. Well, and I think that let me get in the right scene here. I think that the majority of women who are in business are already wearing a lot of hats. They're already trying to do too much. It's very hard, especially when you're new in business, to be able to outsource and delegate. Mm-hmm. And so they're focusing on what, as you say, they've been told to, whether it's by, taking a course or paying a lot of money to a mentor. So I think the key is what you're sharing here today that I want them to take home with them is it is more than that. And you really need to look for some support around the inner work. Because that's just like your business constantly is evolving, your inner work, your mindset your sense of self is constantly evolving. And I think, in all honesty, that's hard to do by yourself, because we have these repetitive patterns and these repetitive, talking points inside, as you call them, or the little imps, the little puppies, so to speak, that get in the way of that. So I think that you really bring this to an important awareness for the viewers to think about. I've been doing everything else people have told me to do. Why am I not having the success that these other people are having? So that's your place to pause and say, perhaps you need to go inside, do some of this inner work, clear it, so that you can step into the person that you're meant to be. That's what I hear coming from you so eloquently.
Well, so I'll just give you one quick technique. So,
Great.
We think our mind is the governor of us. And obviously your brain, I'm not going medical. I'm not saying your brain doesn't matter, because it completely matters. But really, your body holds your consciousness. Your body holds your soul and all your wisdom. And most of us live our lives from here up. Like, well, let me think about that. Shh, stop thinking. Because we talked about the cave people thing, right?
Yeah.
So brain's going to think some really nasty thoughts. So if you so you can get so much information literally from asking your body. And so one of the things I always work with my clients, like, let's say somebody wants to just get 5 new clients. Okay. So you could say, ask your body. So whatever your thing, let's pick a goal or desire, tune in. And again, get out of your head, tune into your body, and just say, let's say 5 new clients. Just say, I deserve to get 5 new clients. Your body will tell you yes or no. Okay. Don't listen to your like, if I watch you and you're like, well, let me think, hold on, do I deserve it? That means you're trying to think your way through. But in your body is the wisdom. It's your unconscious literally lives in your body. So then you can say, is it safe for me to get 5 new clients? Do I have permission to get 5 new clients? And if you start getting no's, because you probably will, then it's like, the next question is that even mine? And you will be shocked how much ancestral, I think, Virginia, you said you carry this in your DNA. We absolutely do. I don't know if you can see in I got the freckles. I'm good Irish and the freckles, right? And there was a lot of struggle in the potato family, there was a lot of suffering and struggling, and life is hard. And so literally I carried that in my DNA. And as you might have been carrying whatever stuff is. So when you ask yes or no, if it's a no, it's not yours, you literally can say, return to sender with consciousness, just like, shoo, and see how you feel. Okay. So that's a quick tool technique for you.
Okay. So I'm taking lots of notes here. Because these are really good, actionable tips that our viewers can take advantage of. So I like this. Have we gotten into the third topic, or you're just giving us some goodies? Okay.
I was in the second topic of here's energy and mindset tools. Perfect. And now we're going to talk about sales.
Perfect. Woo! Okay. Wait a minute before we do that, because I just wanted to review this part on the body.
Okay.
Because I think one of the challenges is when we ask the body, we're not sure necessarily what we're looking for or how we should determine a yes from a no. One of the things that has helped me over the years, when I've tuned into my body, which I'm pretty good at, is when I've asked that yes or no question, if I find my energy feels elevated,
beautiful,
a little more excited, it just feels like it's revved up a little bit, that's a yes. If instead I feel my energy is kind of,
exactly, that's a no. Perfect.
That's a no. So I hope that helps.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, because it is, if you're not used to it. Now, some people I've done it differently. So I would say, get something that you absolutely know is a yes. Like, I love my child, or I want to go to Ireland, or like that is a heck yeah. And just go tune into your heart, ask the question, you'll get a yes or no. Or for some people, they get their answer more in their womb space, right? Okay. So you got to figure out where it lives sometimes. And then ask, like, would you like to eat liver today? Like,
most people know the answer to that.
So ask a yes, and ask that you a no or a no, or a yes. and then find where it lives, and then you'll get a baseline. So thank you for bringing that up. That's great.
Great. Okay, so you guys are getting so much valuable information here today. I'm just so excited to get this out to all of you. So we're going to go into the third topic then, and that is about sales success and your mindset, tapping into it. So take it away, Therese.
All right. So in my, the things that for me that I don't know how to do, I get to teach now. So I told you in the beginning, I didn't know how to sell my services. And the main reason, because I also told you I had a 12-page script written by the top experts. I practiced, and I still could not do it until I realized, oh, I'm not owning my value. That's the biggest, that is the money door right there. So if you own your value, you make more money. Bottom line. And so it's harder, if, for example, if I'm a plumber and I'm selling, I will get the clog out. It's pretty easy to say, well, there you go. I did it. It's a commodity. If you sell things like commodities, it's much easier. If you are in a service base, like especially me now, more transformational or esoteric, woof, it's real hard. It's a lot harder to, number one, message it, language it, market it, but then own it. And so again, most people, this is where I always start with people. What is the value you bring? And so I'll just give you some of my selling techniques. I may have a whole system for this, but when you think of your value, so you want to think about who your perfect market is, right? And you want to think about, I would list literally 30 problems they're having. And there's tangible and intangible. Tangible is people would come to me saying, I'm not making enough money. Okay. Intangible is I'm starting to doubt myself, or I'm really bored, or I'm feeling like a fraud. Okay. So list tangible problems and then intangible problems, because here's the thing. Some people are going to say, oh, I want to sign up with you just because I need more money. Some people are going to come up and say, oh, I want to sign up with you because I want to live on purpose. Yeah. So it's not either, like, you got to nail both. And here's what you must understand. This is how you own your value. So I know, and I'll just use my experience. If you come to me, and if you, let's say I'm working with you and you're a woman business owner and you do not get my help, I can tell you the trajectory. I can tell you in 6 more months, because I've made all these mistakes. I've seen it for 15 years. I can basically say, okay, you're here, you want to get here, but on your own, because of what's going on internally, you're not going to get there. And what's that going to be like? And I would quantify that. You would probably lose $50,000. You would have a lot more doubt. You would feel like a loser. You like, so I understand. And again, I don't use this to manipulate people, but if I understand, like, without my services, that's the path. With my services, I'm like a little speeder upper, right? With my services, you will have breakthroughs like, right? I understand, like, whatever I do. So you say 6 months without me, you're going to be here. Ow. I literally would quantify that. Because again, I'm kind of in the money part of it. I'll say, how much money does it cost you to lose a client? How much opportunity you're losing? I literally have people say, oh yeah, I'm losing $10,000 a month. And I'm like, okay, so you would have lost $60,000. And let's say I'm only charging $10,000. That's a great return on investment, right? So you have to understand, that's how you own your value. Like, what is your piece of it? If they don't have you, what's it going to cost them? Time, money, energy, relationships, confidence. And again, it's not to, like, please don't be one of those icky salespeople that don't, but it's for your own understanding of, like, wow, you paid $10,000 with me, but you're going to, and then 10 more years, that's more than $500,000 you're going to make on that investment. So that's step number one. I know you want to say something, so just jump in.
No, I'm just thinking about how important what you're saying is, as far as truly owning your value.
Yes.
So what you're helping them do to own their value is to monetize it.
Yes.
With or without claiming your value, stepping into your value, stepping into your worth, what it's worth to you if you step into it, and what it can cost you if you don't. Very important point. I just wanted to emphasize it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, so here's another one. A lot of people, I'll just tell you my own story. Okay. I'll get real here for a minute. All right. So I went from being a business coach where I helped people do their marketing, help them, they could send over copywriting to me. I would help teach them selling. I would package basically plus the mindset. So I was like your one-stop shop. I didn't advise them on the stock markets, but, but like I did a whole bunch of stuff. And recently I got real clear on, my lane, my brilliance really is this energy, emotion, mindset. I mean, I'm rock star and I'm good at all the other stuff. And I like all this. I love all the other stuff, but I'm really like my lane is right here. And Virginia, I decided to like stop saying I'm a business coach because I would rather work with women who already know their strategies, who already have their stuff, but want to amplify it. And can I tell you, I've done this for 15 years. I'm a mindset, like there's not a lot of people that got what I got. And I literally had this like, but is it enough? Is it enough? Because I'm so fast. I'm like super ninja fast. I'm like, well, and again, I'm the queen of mindset. And for a month I was in this like, and here's why. Women are conditioned to overgive. Women are conditioned to, well, I'll do your laundry and I'll bake you some brownies and then I'll love you. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a nurturer in us. Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say this is enough, but that's again, a mindset piece of, and so a lot of my friends were just going, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, this is where, we need to have our people that are assisting us because we can't see it. We can't see it. And so this owning your value, like I had owned it to the level I was at, but when I'm like, no, now I want to up level. Now I want to work with, it's like I started all over. And I did start all over, but it was interesting. I didn't make the easy jump.
Yeah.
And so that's again, the cultural narrative of, this is how women respond. And to say, no, I'm not doing that. No, go to see Virginia for that. Nope, that's not mine. I'm only doing this. That's harder.
Yeah. And now you're owning value on a whole nother level as well.
Exactly.
And the work never stops, does it, Therese? Because
no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
As you say, you've been doing this for 15 years. It's been evolving for you. You've been helping. You've got ninja skills in this area, and yet the work never stops. It just hits you at a different level, right?
It does. And I got one more tip for you when you're thinking of, I'm thinking of pricing. Okay. A lot of people, here's what they do. When you think of pricing, a lot of people say, okay, I want to charge, let's say $200 an hour. Then the gremlins go, $200 an hour, really? Right? That is what I call being transactional because it's about you. I want to charge this, and then you're going to hear all the little negative thoughts. You must make it transformational. It's about them, right? And so, because a lot of my clients have a hard time with visibility, getting out there, making good offers, raising their rates, being really powerful in their marketing. Because they're like, yeah, but God, can I say that I can do that? Can I really charge? Shh, it's not about you. So my final point about this is there could be somebody that literally is suffering horribly and you are their solution.
Yeah.
You are the one. And so when you think a lot, because I work with mission-driven people, it's like, are you willing to get out of bed, get out of your comfort zone, walk through fire to help that person that is yours? And so sometimes when we think about, I'm willing to be real uncomfortable and do whatever and make the right offer and have the selling conversation because I'm supposed to help that person. You see, when it's transformational, it's much easier to sell than it's about, can I do this? Can I have this? Do I deserve this? Am I enough? That's when your gremlins will eat you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So thinking of the actual price point is thinking about the transformational value that you're actually providing to the person who wants to work with you is a much better place to come from than transactional. Love it. Love Oh, so much good stuff.
Perfect.
I hope you've all been taking profuse notes and that you're going to go back and review this. And I think this is one of those shows that you need to go back and watch again because Therese, you're just providing so much value to our viewers, and I really, really appreciate that. Now, you have a gift for them as well. I'm so excited to share this information with them. Let me bring up on the screen the link for it, and you can talk to them about why they should take advantage of your gift and what it is actually.
Okay, perfect. So, I started this by talking about the number one most important thing is for you to own your value. And so I created an assessment. But it's not just like, I'm not, can you tell I'm Irish? I got the gift of gab. You're not going to get a checklist. Like I probably, so it's just called the own your value product basically. And what it is, it starts with an assessment, and you will be surprised because most people think own your value is binary, like it's a yes or no. But I have this checklist that will show you the little subtle ways. It's like, what? That's not owning my value? Because it's not an either or. There's many, many, many places that you can go, that's a sign, that's a sign, that's a sign. So I first take you through a checklist of how fully are you owning your value? And then I actually have some worksheets, like kind of what I was talking about, it really helps you put it in your head, oh, okay, how do I declare my value? There's literally worksheets, and I'm not one of those worksheet persons, so this is a gift to get worksheets from me. I'm in the moment. There's not a lot of worksheets in my world. And then I have an audio that I love. It's actually me taking a client through a process and so when you hear me demonstrate, it's like 10-15 minutes. So none of this is too much, but it's just enough to get you oh my God. And so by the end of that, you really will understand that's why I should charge more, and B, get to do this work and own the work I do. It's super important.
Oh, wow. This is such great stuff. I'm going to be picking up this gift myself.
Yay.
And if you want to pick it up, all you need to go to hmtips.com/Therese gift. And Therese is spelled THERESE and then the word gift. So again, hmtips.com/Therese gift to get what I would call this sort of a gift package.
It is. Yeah, it is.
So, or gift basket, maybe would be another way of putting it. Oh, Therese, thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing what I think is super, super valuable information. And really, I really want to encourage you to give us your feedback on what Therese has shared with us today. We'd love to hear your comments, your questions. We will respond to them. So please don't hesitate to let us know what you think about all the great tools, strategies, ideas, mindset, and energy tips that Therese shared with us today. So Therese, let's close with any final thoughts you might have, any last word you'd like to get in before we're done today.
Yeah, so I just feel like if it's yours, it's meant to come true. Meaning, I didn't get a desire to be an accountant, and so so I don't ever have to worry about that. But what I got a desire for, it will happen. And so if what I say to my clients, not maybe, if you just act oh, it's inevitable, it is mine to do. Again, I work with purpose-driven, mission-driven people. So if you really tap into that and kind of tap into the universe or God or spirit or whatever you call it, and just go, okay, if it's mine, let's make it happen. And so you can trust that the thing that you desire to do and have is yours to have and do. It's how you show up in the world. So say yes more fully, more fully, more. Just keep saying yes to it. You got it.
Beautiful way to end. Say yes to your desires. And with that, we will close. I want to thank Therese once again for being here and being so generous with the information and the tips that she provided. And thank you, the viewer, for taking the time. I think the time was valuable and well spent. I look forward to seeing you all on the next Inspirational Businesswoman show. Bye-bye now. Know someone who would be a great guest for our show? Or would you like to be a guest on the Inspirational Businesswoman show? Let's shine the spotlight on your expertise. We'll share your story while offering tips, strategies, and advice to our viewers. Expert interviews are a great way to build your reputation as the go-to expert. Go to shinetips.com/IBWS to apply today. Women are waiting for your message, and I can't wait to interview you.